Welcome to Genre Talk. Today I want to talk to you about the analytical profile genre, and to help me out, I've asked writing mentor Leilani Jimenez to come and introduce you to the genre. You read profiles all the time. You look up the Wikipedia page of your favorite musician, maybe you read about a friend's choir in a college newsletter, or watch the descriptions of athletes flash across the screen at a Suns game. If someone asks you to write a profile about a person, group, or an upcoming event, you probably know what to do. You collect all of the information that you can about the subject, and then you present it in an orderly manner. But all of these examples I've just listed are informative profiles. So what makes a profile analytical? Because we're creating this video as a team 2 days before the Game of Thrones Season 8 premiere, woo! Let's consider the difference between Emilia Clark's IMDb page and a feature about the actress in Vanity Fair. Now, okay. Looking at these examples side by side, you can tell that the creators for each profile had a very different goal. Here's Emilia Clark's IMDb page, and here's the cover of Vanity Fair. Joanna Robinson wrote this for Vanity Fair, and she titled her analytical profile, Emilia Clark's Solo Flight. So obviously somebody is going to come to this IMDb page for some information. They're going to be coming to this profile for something else. Now, you can get a sense of Joanna Robinson, the Hollywood reporter's purpose in writing this analytical profile. The IMDb profile is a crowdsourced collection of data. You're going to go there if you want to learn where she was born or what was her first big role. You're going to want to get something different from Joanna Robinson's article, and she knows that. You can get a sense of her writing goal when you check out her title, Emilia Clark's Solo Flight. Obviously, this Hollywood reporter wanted to write about Emilia last May because Clark had a new movie coming out, Solo, a Star Wars story. Flying solo is a clever play on words. In addition to referencing the movie, it underscores what Robinson claims to be Clark's sense of independence. Flying solo. Here's where she states her claim about Emilia Clark pretty directly, earlier on in that analytical profile. As the Nereis has risen, so has Clark, morphing from a struggling actress and part-time cater waiter to an international superstar and symbol of feminine fierceness. So this is clearly how Robinson's looking at the actress after having spent some time with her.
Here are our tips for writing a compelling analytical profile. Tip 1. Don't skimp on the primary research.
Okay, so I wanted to include this quotation from Robinson because there's so many lush details here, and it's in the first paragraph of her analytical profile when she's reflecting on visiting a museum exhibit with Emilia Clark. So she's gone to the museum with Emilia Clark. Our guide has challenged us to photograph as many birds and dragons as we can find in the paintings and sculptures on the tour, and Clark is approaching the task with her usual effervescent zeal. Standing in the shadow of a stone Hatshepsut, one of patriarchal Egypt's first female pharaohs, she triumphantly displays one of the winged targets she has captured on her phone. This little birdie, boom, she shouts, her voice ricocheting off the stone walls. A pair of young men look over, then descend, and in thick French accents, ask for a photo. Clark's triumphant grin tightens into a polite, distant smile.
How many details do you think Robinson had to sift through in order to figure out what she wanted to say to her audience about Emilia Clark? Here's Joanna Robinson on Twitter.
And look, this is in preparation for publishing another article. Sifting through 300 pages of notes is tedious, but I hope it will be worth it for some articles I have coming up this week. Stay tuned. 300 pages of notes. That's a lot of notes, isn't it, Leilani?
So many notes. And when you collect your primary research, you have to become an expert in your subject. Look closely at your primary data in order to unveil a claim that your audience will be interested in reading. Otherwise, they might as well look up some basic data from Wikipedia or another source.
Absolutely.
Tip 2. As you draft, draw a clear connection between a detail you think is important and your working claim.
Yeah, you don't want to get lost in all that information, right? So here's another passage from the same essay in which, so I have highlighted some phrases here. An active participant in Time's Up, Emilia Clark, has ambitious plans to write and produce her own material and create new opportunities for other women in the industry. Discussing those issues, she begins to sound more like the fiery Nereis. So it's really clear why she's bringing in a specific example and how it relates to her goal.
Tip 3. Remember, your perspective of your subject should be in conversation with others' perspectives too.
And this is a great example of how Joanna Robinson brings in another outside source, Rose Leslie, another actress, in order to enter into a conversation about Emilia Clark, rather than have a one-sided claim. As Daenerys has risen, so has Clark, morphing from a struggling actress and part-time cater waiter to an international superstar. That journey is important and inspiring, particularly now in our climate, says her close friend Rose Leslie, who played the wildling warrior Ygritte in earlier seasons of Game of Thrones. She's at the forefront of representing independent women. So that lends some authority to her claim as well, right?
You should care enough about your subject that you want to present them in a fair way. Conducting secondary research takes time. Find out what other people are saying about your subject and quote some of them where appropriate. Make sure you do so in direct connection to your writing goal.
That's really important, right? To know why you're writing the profile in the first place. We hope that these tips have been helpful. Good luck in writing an analytical profile.